We'll both lock in Hose.
You are both incorrect.
Damn it.
Mulga is a snake. Yeah, a brown sea snake.
Mulga snake.
It's non-venomous.
Like, what inspired the Hose? Was there another brand that you...
No, I
just made it
I
up.
just thought of
That's
creativity.
good. I like it.
So technically, so I should get a point for that.
You get a
right?
point for that, yeah. So I think I'm on 1, Harry's on 1.
And who would have thought Ben's on 0?
Yet to score.
Yeah, actually, also, while we're on last week's episode, kind of, we had a great caller, Henry, and I don't know if we got the clip or not, MJ.
Yeah, we may as well. Let's hear
let's hear from Henry.
Hi, I'm Henry. I
So great.
want to know what boots does Harry wear. I live in Cranbourne East. I want to kick just like Harry.
Oh, Henry.
And can you confirm how old Henry was?
He was 32, but it turns out is he 5? I don't want to get it wrong. 5 rings a bell, but what a king.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling in, Henry. So we thought, obviously, he was asking for some advice on what boots that I wear, and Ben actually wears the same ones. But we thought we'd get him a pair of his own. So thanks to the good people at Puma, we've got him a pair of his own boots. So
and we cracked these open before.
yeah.
They're legit.
Yeah, they're a solid pair of boots. So Henry's in for a good year. But so these are the ones that Ben and I both wear.
Yeah.
What size are they?
So we got the size.
They're adorable.
Size 2.
And he's about to start under 8.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's in for a good year, Henry. So we'll get those out to you, mate. And yeah, thanks again for calling in.
Right on.
We thought it was great. So
yeah. Thank you, Puma. Yeah, nice. It's good to...
But it's also a cool
to give back.
little reminder, like, even though footy can be political sometimes, like, just that is really cool, isn't it? Just to be able to inspire a young kid and the next generation, like we talk about a lot. So, yeah, it was a cool moment all around, I reckon.
Yeah, it takes you back to when you were a kid, like when you idolised. Who was like one of your absolute icons when you were growing up? Did you have the same ones?
Well, we were Essendon supporters, so probably I don't know, Matthew Lloyd and
key forwards?
James
Lucas?
Hurd, Lucas,
Lucas,
Yeah. Nice.
Fletch.
And Harry, we've seen you on Media Street in the last 7 days. So you did Rush Hour Melbourne with Billy and Limo.
Yep.
And you're on SEN, and you gave the podcast a bit of love with Dwayne's World. Dwayne Pipe.
Dwayne, yeah.
Big Dwayne
I don't want to
Russell.
hold you back from signing autographs for kids. So, well, one more quick one. You love the podcast with your brother as well. It seems like you enjoy a little bit of media. You're quite affable today. It's great to have a chat to you. You've got a smile in your voice, and I can hear your excitement as the footy season's looming and the excitement in your voice as to how you're going to be able to play this year. So that's great. Did it weigh on you at all last year, or you're always this kind of happy guy who can let it wash off you when the criticism comes?
Yeah, thanks for the little shout out there for the podcast, Ben and Harry podcast, if you want to listen, Dwayne.
Beautiful.
Sure you will be, mate. But,
we always do, and we steal bits from it. You know that, Harry. You say something good on there, we run with it for an hour.
Absolutely, and we love that. We love that, so thank you.
Jeez, he's a fan of yours.
Well, apparently.
Did you pay him or something?
I remember before that because we were at the launch of the Auskick for 2024.
Yeah.
And I was doing it was on the phone, the chat with Dwayne, and I was it was at Bounce, right? The Bounce, the gymnastics kind of fun house.
Oh, yeah, trampoline
Bounce,
place, yeah.
And I was just kind of walking over into kind of in the corner while I was taking the call. And mid-call, like a little kid walks over, like, "Can I have your autograph, please?" And I was, "Oh, sorry, mate, I will. But I'm just on the phone in a second." It was very funny. So, yeah, it was a good chat.
Yeah, nice. And then good plug you got in there. And then if you want to hear Dwayne really enjoying your work, Harry, this is some of the most affable sort of feedback I think I've ever heard for an interview guest before.
Always a dream for me to have guns like you on the show, Harry. So you've made my day. Thanks for chatting, and good luck this season.
Do it for a living, mate.
Dream.
Well,
Does it for a living.
thank you very much, Dwayne.
The amount of footballs that must roll through his...
Yeah, he must have some boring footballers. Wow.
He says it's a dream, but he does it for a living.
Yeah, it's literally...
Oh, he might be living his dream. How do you know?
Living the dream. If
good
you
on
do
him.
what you love, you don't work a
Don't
day.
cut him
in your life.
down, mate, for giving some positivity in this world. We need more of it.
Not at all.
Whack.
Well on, Dwayne.
Nice.
Can you, Dwayne?
This is a good question. So this is Mitch from Beveridge. Also, submit your questions on Instagram, and we prefer audio questions. This is Mitch from Beveridge, and he had a question that we wanted to park for this week. So it's about your kicking, Harry. Let's hear from Mitch.
G'day boys, it's Mitch from Beveridge here. Harry, I just wanted to ask, how have you blocked out the outside noise with obviously your goal kicking from last year, and what was the biggest thing you worked on this year to turn it all around? Go Blues.
Thanks, Mitch, for the question. I wasn't expecting like a that type of voice. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting a kid's voice, I think. I don't know.
After Henry, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, Mitch. Yeah, obviously, I think I've talked about it a little bit across a few interviews in the last month or so, but I think the beauty of being an AFL footballer is in the off-season you get 6 months to go and work on something or work on some areas of your game that you can. So that's a real positive about being in our job. Yeah, obviously last year was disappointing with how I kicked the ball. Like, no secret at all about that. And throughout it, it was frustrating that I knew I was needed a big block of time and work to change a few things technically, which you can't do in season. So yeah, went away, did some work with a few people, and even got it was really cool. It's like, you know how in FIFA and stuff you wear that like full-on monitoring suit and they like look at all your biomechanics and everything.
Really,
So,
you've gone through that?
yeah, I went through that. It was really cool. Yeah, that was teed up through the club, and Kev Ball, who was really good with that. So yeah, basically you wear this massive suit with like dots all over you,
Little bubbles, yeah.
Yeah, and they monitor all of your movements, and yeah, after that kind of broke down a couple of things technique wise, and a lot of it was really good, but it was just one or two little things that had been ingrained for years and years that was going to be important to try and undo. So I won't bore you with all the details of it.
I'm pretty interested though. What were some of the big findings for you?
Essentially, I got like a little step before I kick, which I'd always known I had, and I really hated watching myself kick because I knew I had this little step. But
like immediately before you,
yeah, and so it was really cool. So with the data, you could see like your momentum would build up, and then I'd take this little step, and all your momentum would drop, and then you'd try and chase it again. And I've been doing that since I was basically a kid. So over the summer, I've been trying to undo that because really it was, I guess, killing your momentum. So the consistency of your kick was going to be up and down depending on that step a bit. So yeah, it was really cool. Very tricky to try and unwire something that you've been doing for years and years. But yeah, definitely made some good progress on that. Talking with Ash a lot, and always say like it's still gonna be some like teething issues with it, but you're gonna be better tomorrow than you were today with it because you're undoing and you're laying down new kind of patterns in the way you kick. So it's been really exciting to go after something technically, I guess. And yeah, we're looking at it from like the next 10 years. Like this is going to help over the next 10 years as well.
Yeah.
Obviously there'll be some transfer straight away, which has been really great, and even at training, but knowing that this is going to be really good for the long term. So yeah, as I said, a cool part of the job is being able to get better at a skill or something you want to go after. So that's been really exciting. And then another big element of it was just being really clear what spots you're doing what kick from. Because I think last year and probably in the last few years to a degree, probably playing a bit more on like instinct and emotion on if I want to snap the ball from there versus kind of being methodical with that decision, if that makes sense. So
if you were in a spot on the 50 now, have you like categorized each one?
Yeah, I literally got a map kind of thing. So we worked really closely with that, knowing exactly where your spots are. So it takes out any emotion, any fatigue, you just know where you're kicking from, and that takes out any kind of I guess stress or emotion or anything from that decision because you already know. So that's probably been the two areas. And I'm going to stress that you're going to miss. And I think the best kickers I've ever kicked at 7 out of 10, which is always going to be understanding that you're going to miss shots. But trying to bridge that gap and kick really consistency, regardless of if you kick them or not, is something going after. So yeah, it's been really cool. And I'm going to stress again, I'm going to miss, and there's going to be some little teething issues, I guess. But excited about getting some change towards it. Yeah.
With the momentum thing and the step, how does that impact the accuracy? Is it because you're bringing your leg across to get that momentum back?
Yeah, so essentially like you're trying to get all that momentum you just lost in that last step. So exactly right. Your body twist, your leg comes across. So you do these things that kind of, in order to get momentum back that you've just lost. So you talk about momentum being a gross movement. So with little parts of your technique are off, say your ball drop or whatever, if momentum being a gross movement, like that saves a lot of things. So you want momentum being, I talked about like with golf. So no matter what situation, they're really strong usually off the tee because it's a gross movement, big momentum. But when putting, which is really intrinsic, that's where they find more difficult because it's, more detailed and intrinsic.
Yeah,
so
more finesse.
Momentum as a key concept is really important. So yeah, it's been fascinating. And it's really hard to, like at the start, it was really hard to undo that step, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, it's gradually.
Do you
getting
find
easier.
yourself, let's say you got 10 shots of training, well, 1 or 2 of them you'll put your step in just naturally, or that's the ultimate focus, like I'm not stepping regardless of the end result?
Yeah, I think at the start I was literally doing that your routine without even kicking the ball, just to try and break that cycle of that step. I think now to be a stage where you'd probably do 50 kicks, and if you weren't concentrating for one, maybe you have that little step, but always kind of checking that element. And even with coaching, obviously we want the ball to go through, but if we're got really nice momentum and that step is really fluent, then you're going to kick the ball well.
Yeah. And how did you go? We saw you had kind of an array of results with your set shot kicking on the weekend against the Cats. So were you trying to embed those things in, obviously, in a game day situation? Did you find it difficult? Or
Yes and no. I think there's no question that when, there's always going to be, it's another step up doing a game day because, of the adrenaline, of, the fatigue, all these things. But it was tricky on the weekend. The wind was shocking, and a lot of guys found that difficult. But there definitely was some really good ones of just nice momentum, step well, and kick the ball well. And I said there's going to be times where I get that slightly wrong, but over the period of time, that's what I'm going to try and keep on betting down on, and knowing that's going to hold me in good stead. And Ash talks about it all the time, you're going to be better tomorrow than you were today with it. So, as I said, it's exciting, and keep on trying to get better at it. And as I said, it's a really good thing of our sport is that we get time, and we're in an industry where we can improve things that we want to. And and I think I can't remember who said it last year, but it might have been Tom Hawkins. But he said goal kicking, you never master it. You're always looking at ways to get it in a good space, but you never master it. So that's a beauty in itself. Keep on trying to chase something that you're never going to be able to master, but always look to get better at. So
Nice.
Nice.
Practice games over the weekend. We'll quickly go to Ben because wasn't the ideal sort of hit out for the Bombers in the end. No. But a few new faces, a few players that went off at halftime, still plenty of notable absentees. You didn't have Shield, Wright, Kelly, Draper, Ridley, so some big names. But what were your immediate thoughts, your takeouts?
From a personal point of view, firstly, it was a strange lead-in. Everything was different. I've said to quite a few people, the pre-game was different, as in things are in a different spot and things run differently at Essendon just because you're not used to it pre-game. But I'm glad I was able to experience that, and especially the next week as well, just to learn the flow of everything pre-game. It's obviously going to be different, so that within itself I probably underestimated a little bit, how different it was rocking up on game day and seeing different things. But from the game point of view, I think, again, I've said to a few people, you don't understand how much you need to play against opposition until you're out there and you review it. And I think no matter what the results say, I think it's about gathering information about how we went, getting a couple of things we can move forward. With St Kilda, a good team. I thought they were great on the day as well. I'm sure they'll be there or thereabouts. So certainly it's a fine balance of, you obviously want to review it really well, but understanding it is your first go against opposition, so there's going to be some teething issues. And I think Harry may have mentioned it last week, but not until you play against someone is when you get some true information back, and that's what you go to work on this week and next week. So it's almost just starting that cycle of the review process and breaking down our game. So although the result was disappointing, I think you got to remember it was the first hit out against the first opposition in 6 months. So pointing to learn, but also it was just good to be out there playing against other blokes, not your teammates.
I did flick it on for the last little bit. It was strange seeing you wear the Essendon colours, and even number 32 as well. Yeah. Why did you decide to go with 32?
If you listen back to last week's episode, you'll know.
You got to listen to the Ben and Harry podcast.
That's right.
If you want the full essay on why Ben, either that or via Instagram at, what's your handle? At Ben Mackay.
Yeah, full analysis.
2 ways you can find it. So.
How many words is on that essay?
Oh, come on.
Uni assignment.
If only he put so much effort into his schoolwork, he would be laughing.
So how did the Blues go? I didn't watch much of it.
I think, like as you said, the first practice match is well needed, and definitely elements were scratchy, and elements where we were happy with what we did. Looking forward to this Wednesday night's game, which is probably a bit more of a full-on dress rehearsal, and to Ben's point, you can kind of go to work on real specific elements of your system that you want to kind of fine tune.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Wednesday night for sure.
Yeah. Another warm day for you. How was the heat against the Cats?
Yeah, it was warm. No secret there.
Do you think that like prepares you? Because going up to Brisbane, that's going to be
we've been
really
saying that a
sticky
little
night.
bit. Like it'll be, even the last couple of match sims we had were really hot. So
Yeah.
I know the sports science team would be probably secretly happy that the warm days are rolling on. But who knows what the weather? That's at night as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
who knows? But
That's next week.
I know.
That's next week.
It's sneaking up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that there is NRL on
I know.
in both states. Does
ridiculous.
that make sense or not?
Yeah.
I don't get
Yeah.
it.
So I think that, the whole idea was like while the NRL's out of town, but the NRL is not out of town. I
Yeah.
think there's 2 games on the Gold Coast the same night. So it's
Do you reckon
bit
they just got
silly.
the dates wrong? Or?
yeah, it's not they didn't look at the calendar, but
Yeah.
so you're playing Melbourne on Wednesday. That's at Icon, and then Ben, you've got the Cats down at the Cattery.
On Friday.
Cattery.
Yeah,
Friday afternoon.
that's almost finished. I think the Cattery should the stadium.
Yeah, I think it is finished. Yeah.
It's never finished, mate.
No, it's
That is true.
it's like goal kicking. It's
Yeah.
constantly
They're always looking to master their
Evolving.
You
stadium.
can never perfect it.
you can never master that stadium. So you're looking forward to getting down there.
Yeah,
Like, that's
absolutely.
really quality opposition again.
Yeah, again, and that's as I was saying before, playing against really good teams this early on is gold. So again, they're a quality outfit and have been for a long time. So looking forward to Friday Arvo.
Yeah, nice. Who's going to take the reins? Actually,
Is it-
before we
I
move
reckon
on from
we should be able to get it to a stage where Will doesn't have to say who's going to take
That's
this. Like, Ben,
ideal,
you
yeah.
should just be like,
Yeah,
we
so-
should be
we should.
just have a bit of foresight on that. I reckon that's a good
I
idea.
reckon going forward, we take it out of the run sheet, and that's our challenge.
No, but then it'll never happen.
Yeah, it never happened.
Well, that's on us, then, isn't it?
Yeah. No, we need initiative and foresight. But
saying that-
before we get there, because we should still cover off one more footy story that just came to mind. So, do you guys personally know Angus Brayshaw? Have you met him a couple of times? He
I would have
obviously-
played against him a couple of times, but
Yeah,
No, I don't
Not
think
personally.
I haven't had too much to do with Angus, but
Yeah.
yeah, played against him a couple of times.
yeah, just an awful story. Has there been any fallout within your clubs about? Have you discussed like what a scary
Yeah,
proposition that is? A guy
absolutely.
just at his absolute prime, forced out of the game.
I think. I mean, it's a very delicate situation, isn't it? But was it the AFL that told Angus, or was it Angus? I'm sure it's
an
been both. AFL
doctor
Yep.
recommended, and I think it's
But
almost
ultimately,
forced. Yeah.
Well, ultimately, it's probably Angus's decision. But yeah, you're right. It's
Mm.
it's horrible, really. I mean, you've got your whole life to live. So on one hand, it's a wise decision, but it would be brutally hard to make that call at the time. So I applaud Angus for making that decision as well.
Yeah.
You've got such a long life left. So if the AFL doctors deem it's too dangerous to continue, then he's done such a good job at putting his hand up and saying, you know what, this is it. He's played, how many games did he play? He won a flag, so
Yeah,
that's not to underestimate as well. He had a really good career at Melbourne, and
for sure.
wish him all the best. But yeah, it would be tough.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Thoughts are definitely with Angus and his family because it must be a really challenging time. But as Ben said, I think there's bravery in putting life first.
Yeah,
And who knows? He might be able to set the tone for others that are weighing that up or in the future. So I commend Angus as well
I think-
for being able
yeah.
to as challenging it would have been that put his whole life ahead of footy. So,
Yep.
but no doubt a really tough decision, and hope he's doing okay.
yeah,
Yeah, you see, I'm sure it's happened before, but players have made those decisions when they're in their first, second, third year, like
Yeah.
that. Whereas in one positive side, Angus was able to forge out a 10-year career
That's true.
and had some
Yeah.
great success. So I don't think we should underestimate Angus's career in itself. I think he had a tremendous impact on the Melbourne Footy Club. He'll be a life member. So
You don't want the narrative to be around
No.
always a concussion. Like
That's
he
true.
played a crucial role in Melbourne's first flag in 60 years. From all
Absolutely.
reports, changed the culture.
absolutely.
Amazing teammate and was huge on grand final day as well. So
Wasn't he?
hopefully
Yeah.
that's the narrative going forward that life member, premiership player, crucial part of a flag.
Yeah,
as well.
great call.
Yep.
Nice one. All right.
Grinchy,
It's not me. This is meant to be you. This is what I said
did
in
it last
RFI for
week.
you.
I did it last
Oh
week.
my god!
I
Seriously.
purposely just left a bit of clean air. Who's going to take it?
It's a cardinal sin of
Yeah.
Well, this
podcasting.
just sounds so robotic now, but if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, why are you laughing at that? Seriously, man.
If you're good enough to listen, please leave us a review.
Yes,
that would be great.
nice.
And hit the bell. Actually,
On-
I was
that's
speaking
on
to Mum the
Spotify.
other day, and she was like, I was like, oh, have you listened to our podcast? And she's like, yeah, I hit the bell so I get notification when a new episode's out. So I have listened to it.
That's perfect. That kind of insight, really like humanizing it and making it sound like it's a personal thing that people can relate to. That's great. That's
Not a robotic thing.
That's radio craft.
Yeah. The craft's improving, Will.
The craft is improving.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. In fact, my own father said, geez, those guys they've improved so much.
That's funny. I listened to our first episode randomly last week. Jeez,
Don't do
I
that.
can talk for myself, but I was pretty scratchy.
No, I don't
The
think
key part was there speaking for yourself. Because I think Will and I were all right.
Will was good. He does it for a living.
Held down a fort well.
Yeah. From memory, Harry and I were flying.
Yeah.
I think you had a shocker.
trying to be vulnerable here.
Trying to be
That'll
vulnerable.
teach you, mate, for being vulnerable.
Nice. All right, Twinners.
Ben and Harry's
I'm so excited for this.
winners
Birds often think I'm a treat.
and losers.
I hate cheese.
Oh my god. Also, just quickly, I think the other bit of feedback on this or that is it'd be good to get like a nice segment intro, maybe.
Oh,
MJ?
I don't know if it's there yet.
Right. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I like it.
MJ shaking his head out.
No, MJ.
Well, Harry's hot seat got one, and we didn't even ever do that.
Yeah, that was just improvised.
Harry's hot seat.
Is that done?
Marshy
Is
just
that in the
check.
grave?
I think that's an RIP segment. Yeah.
Maybe we'll just bring it back
Sorry.
occasionally, but yeah.
something special.
Maybe Harry's tipping point could
Yeah.
replace it.
It's winners and losers. I'll do both off the top because they roll into each other. As we just mentioned, I was on the rush hour with Limo and Bill, which was really good fun. Limo made a really interesting point that he also has a dog called Bunny.
Right.
I found that really interesting because I haven't, in my time of owning Bunny, come across anyone with that same name. So I found that really cool and interesting. So that was my twinner that Limo and I have the same dog's name.
Is Limo's Bunny a female?
Is a Staffy, or it's a Staffy.
It's a Staffy.
I'm not sure what if it was boy or girl, but
Because that does throw me. I keep forgetting that your Bunny's a guy.
It does get that a bit, but it's all right.
No, I like it. That's
but
good.
that rolls into my loser. It's not for the week, but it's probably an update. Because you guys, I wouldn't have really seen you for a couple of months. Including Ben.
Christmas.
We only see each other here. But yeah, just before Christmas, Bunny actually got attacked by a German Shepherd, and
what?
full on had to get stitches, and it was really full on. So,
jeez.
I was taking him for a walk along my street, and out of nowhere, the German Shepherd was walking the other way with his owner, and historically, if a bigger dog sees a little dog, the owners are really good at kind of letting one pass or whatever, and that didn't happen. So I was assuming that the German Shepherd was really good with other dogs, and as I walked past, the German Shepherd out of nowhere just kind of went at Bunny and full on had him in his mouth, ragging him around, picked him up, and
You must have been terrified.
yeah, I felt like the noise Bunny made, it's not a pleasant noise to hear. So after maybe 20 seconds, the German Shepherd put him down.
Had him for 20 seconds in his mouth.
Maybe, yeah, and
Ragdolled him.
Yeah.
and he was pretty shaky. He was actually all right. I consoled him straight away, and ended up having taken him to the vet, and he had a big puncture in his ribs, and I
Oh
had to
my
get surgery and
God.
everything. So he's doing okay now. He's going well, but he's just a little bit. He's got a bit of PTSD around it. If he sees a bigger dog, occasionally he gets a bit, and he growls a bit more now. So that was my loser.
Yeah.
Probably the worst part was that the owner just walked straight off and didn't.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to
Well, so I literally picked up Bunny and to console him for 20 seconds while he was obviously just experienced that and turned away, and the owner had kind of walked off. So that wasn't great. But then what was lovely, there was a few mums that were playing outside with their kids, and they rushed straight over and were really helpful and really caring. So shout out to those women. They were lovely. But
Jeez.
yeah, it was a bit disappointing.
That's awful.
Yeah, but
Poor Bunny.
he's doing okay. So
Prayers up to
resilience.
Yeah. Well, we were just saying before Bunny was watching his own TikTok
Yeah,
this week.
he's gone very viral.
What were you thinking with that?
Yeah.
I thought
Crazy
it was just
viral.
a bit of funny, lighthearted thing.
What do you reckon
to
of
do.
it, right?
I think it was good content.
Yeah, I didn't mind
Yeah,
it.
20
You
million
weren't
views.
going to say that.
Yeah, it was.
No, you won't. I know you won't. I feel
If I shit on it, you would have jumped
yeah.
on
yeah.
it.
What was he thinking about that video?
No, we're being vulnerable.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
World needs
vulnerability.
lightheartedness, Ben. So
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Bunny has gone super viral though. Like, that's
Yeah.
wild. 20 million views.
20 million views. That video of him getting groomed got.
Jeez. How much bigger is he now?
He's actually
Like-
grown a fair bit.
'Cause last time I
I'll
saw
bring him
him-
in one of these weeks. He's just sitting at home now, probably. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He was like smaller than a loaf of bread. He was like,
yeah.
like 2 fists.
Yeah.
Like what? That's
Yeah, it's like with one bunny
size
away
of a
from the
young bunny.
microphone.
Was
Yeah.
That's the new.
That's new terminology.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Ben.
good. Twinner. I mean, I haven't got a lot this week, but
Oh,
no, just listen. I've just finished watching Friends, and I really,
What?
really enjoyed it.
For the first time.
Yeah. So I
Really?
watched it start to finish over the last couple of months.
MJ's a huge
Is
Friends
he really?
fan. Oh, yeah.
So am I now. I loved it. I thought it was one of the best TV series.
what
I've ever
character
watched.
do you think you most like?
Good one.
Yeah. Probably Joey. Just humour, good looks.
Not overly bright. Is he?
I prefer to look on the positive side. You'd be like a Ross, I reckon.
See, is that an insult though?
I don't know.
'Cause
It
have you
depends
seen
how
all
you...
the TikToks about how Ross is actually portrayed as like a bit of a not a great person? Have you
Oh,
seen those? Yeah.
no, I haven't seen them, but I don't know. I feel like
Who do you reckon you would be?
well, I feel like you'd both be the same. So I don't know.
I'm Phoebe. You reckon?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't know. Tough one.
you might be a Chandler, maybe.
I'll cop
The
Chandler.
funny
Yeah.
guy.
So if we're the three,
So I'm
male.
Phoebe.
Yeah, you can be
Maybe.
Phoebe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great show. Well done to whoever made it.
MJ suggested that you'd be Monica because you're afraid of germs.
You're afraid of germs?
I actually resonate with Monica's cleanliness.
Organised.
and
Yeah,
she's
that's
very
important.
organised.
Organised.
Yeah.
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 So maybe it's not a bad shout, MJ.
Did you
Yeah.
enjoy the later seasons, or did you think it got a bit weaker towards the end?
I don't know. I think it's just an easy watch. Like
Such an easy watch.
It's it's timeless. Like we're
Yeah,
what are we
yeah.
20 odd years later, and
Yeah, it's aged
still
well.
as funny as probably when it was first out. So
Yeah.
I thought that was just a good twinner, an easy
Nice.
twinner to relate to. So
Why is it taking you so long? I
What do
don't
you
even like to
to watch
start it. Yeah.
I've watched bits and pieces, but
Right. Okay.
yeah, I just thought I want to watch it officially, start to finish. So.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my twinner. My loser, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but the cost of a piccolo is ridiculous.
Really?
My local cafe.
Good.
Wait,
good loser.
The coffee piccolo.
Yeah, yeah.
the flute.
So that is hard to resonate with.
At my local cafe, I think it's $4.90 for a piccolo, and my normal order
Wow.
of a strong skinny latte is $5.50. I can't.
Oh, right,
I can't wrap my
okay.
head around that.
But it's still a shot of coffee. They pay for the shot.
Yeah, but for my strong skinny latte, I'm paying 60 extra cents, and I'm getting an extra shot and a lot more milk.
It's
It doesn't add up.
really.
Well,
it's
shot
a-
is 50 cents extra, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
really, that doesn't add up.
It's a really interesting point.
It does
Yeah.
add up though.
But I get what
Yeah.
you're saying, Harry, because
What
They're
you pay
still-
for is like a piccolo is just one
Yeah.
shot with a little bit of milk.
Obviously, yes.
yeah,
And that's
So you're paying for the shot.
$4.90 as is.
Yeah, so the shot of coffee in a thing is $4.80.
Yes, but I'm getting an extra shot.
Yeah, but
and
you're paying
more milk.
So you're paying $5.50 for a
Two
two
shots.
shot. Yeah, so
So one shot basically is $4.90.
it's
Roughly.
80 cents for an extra shot. Then that's what we're saying.
Yeah, yes, but I'm saying the cost of a piccolo itself is a lot.
Well, coffee in general is expensive. Remember when they used to be like less than $3?
yeah. Oh my god, I remember. Yeah, $3 coffees were the norm.
Yeah.
$4.90
But
is
do
a
you agree
lot
with
for a
that?
piccolo. That's
and,
a lot.
And just the difference, obviously, yeah, piccolo it's expensive, but for what you can get for a strong skinny, you may as well just go for the strong skinny.
yeah, but then you're getting more milk.
That's right.
You
So
may
it's
not
a
want it.
lose-lose. So
Yeah.
that was my loser.
Yeah, but I get what Harry's saying. Like
No, I
the
can-
labour of doing the. If you're
Correct.
frothing milk, what's another?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
more just the price difference between the two items is
Yeah.
skewed.
I think we need to add, so obviously traffic gets a good hit on
Traffic.
losers, and then inflation as well. Those are the two. I reckon.
Traffic
I
and
don't want to sound
inflation.
arrogant or not grateful, but that just doesn't add up in my mind.
Didn't they? Yeah, I think you're making enough to be able to pay for $4.80
That's
for
not
a
the
coffee,
point,
mate.
mate.
Particularly this year.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shut up.
Imagine what he's going to be like next year.
Let's move on.
Oh, that's good. Question time. We love these. Direct messages on Instagram at Ben and Harry Podcast. Also follow us on TikTok there. We'll start with Jake the Snake from Tassie.
Hey guys, Jake the Snake here from Tassie again. I don't actually get Jake the Snake as much as you would think. It surprised me a little bit. Question for Ben, just the big string, does he get it? Or I suppose he just gets called the package. But yeah. Cheers, guys.
That was great.
Jake,
The
Stringer,
snake.
he does actually get a bit of snake, so
He does.
yeah,
Jake
he does.
Stringer
A
gets
little bit.
snake.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit. Yep.
Snaky.
So Jake from Tassie will now be known as Jake the Snake.
Nice.
Or just snake.
Or snake.
You
Or
don't have
just
to say
snake.
Jake be snake.
Jake Melksham was a big snake.
Was he?
In Triple M land, he was.
Maybe he can be
Yeah.
called. Maybe Jake's new nickname can be Mulga, the snake.
Yes.
We just found out about
Mulga.
the brown sea snake.
Wow, maybe Jake from Tassie's Mulga. I'll write
So
that
Jake,
down.
let us know if you ever get called Mulga as
Yeah,
well.
the Mulg.
Wow, I highly doubt it.
Alexis from WA.
Hey boys, I'm Alexis from Joondalup in Western Australia, and I have this question. So, a couple of episodes back you guys mentioned that you were going to Italy for your sister's wedding. First of all, congratulations to your sister. That's very awesome. And it was Ben, who had mentioned that he was taking Italian lessons in preparation. So, I'm an Italian speaker myself. I'm very curious to know, how did it go? What did you learn? Did you use anything you learned in class in Italy? And are you still continuing your studies? Because it's a really big language to learn. Best of luck to both of you for the new season, especially Harry. Sorry, Ben, I'm a Carlton supporter. Go Blues!
Thank you very much. That was lovely.
Well done. That was a great question, though.
Yeah. Perfect. Ben, how's the lessons going, mate?
Good listening.
Ciao.
What does that mean?
Why would you so gutsy?
Hello. Hello, was it?
Yeah.
No, Alexis, Harry took the classes.
Yeah, so...
You did. Well, you went for a couple, didn't you?
Yeah, I went for 5 or 6.
3. Yep.
Pardon? Well, you didn't do it.
No, I didn't.
5
you,
or 6?
You were the Grinch over there and you didn't
you-
speak any of the language.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
What are they like with English speakers there?
Oh, they spoke English.
So
just
it's
as much.
perfect. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's
So
not
it's fine.
perfect, but they had enough to
You
get
can get by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, more than get by. Like it was. Yeah, you can.
Mate, can you just take me here? It's like, is it that simple?
Come on, mate.
But no, I did do 4 or 5 lessons, and then it got tricky.
Oh,
'cause
hang on. 5 or 6.
Hang on.
It was 4, wasn't it?
You're
7 or 8 lessons later, and
holes all through this story, mate.
but no, it wasn't a bid to learn a bit of Italian, so that when we were over at our sister's wedding, we could make some conversation, because a lot of her husband's family were predominantly Italian speaking, so I just tried to learn a little bit.
I hope so.
That's not even funny, obviously.
I'm just laughing at how much he enjoyed it.
Oh,
So, but
No,
four
it's
or 5 lessons isn't enough for conversation.
no, that's right. That's what
How do you
found.
know? Yes, it is actually.
So you were able to
No,
hold a
no.
conversation with
Yeah.
Carlo's
A little bit of
family.
A little bit of baseline conversation, yeah.
No,
Because
you
you're such a
couldn't. There's
you're
no
so full
way.
of it, mate.
How would you know?
I was there with you.
There were 2-hour lessons, and I did 4 or 5 of them. And the first couple were how to introduce yourself, how to ask someone's name, how to say where you're from.
We're going.
Yeah, and that would have
I've-
been about it,
I've
wouldn't
forgotten
it?
most of it. Come stai, Harry? That means I am Harry.
Well done, mate.
Mi chiamo Harry. My name is Harry.
5 lessons.
This is riveting conversation.
Actually, speaking of classes, I found out this last night, Will.
Yeah.
Harry and Mum have undertaken painting classes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Mum and
Right.
I started last week. So, Mum has done a little bit of painting in the past.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind the idea of trying something new and a hobby. And they reckon it's really good for you, painting, like
Yeah.
the creativity side of your brain. And it's actually very mindful, just like doing it. And it was really enjoyable. So,
Have you got a photo of it?
no, we didn't paint anything. It was more about the technique and how to blend paint. And it's actually quite a bit to it. But no,
I really like that.
it is nice to do something with Mum. And
Yeah, it's a good shout.
Mm.
yeah.
There's like those paint by numbers where you can just you're filling in the lines and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Apparently, people are nuts for that.
Yeah.
It actually looks
But
alright.
it is very, as I said before, a lot like a mindfulness activity is to actually just do colouring in, because you have to stay really present and stay in focus. So.
Yeah. Stops you from looking at a screen.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, good
Nice.
work.
Maddie.
Hey Ben and Harry, Maddy here again, who used to live in Adelaide but now is in Melbourne. And my question is, would you rather eat a chunk of hair or drink a cup of sweat? Go Blues.
Jesus, Maddie's a freak.
Wait.
Again, Maddy, great move from Adelaide. That's the first
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Congrats.
Eat hair or
Is
drink
it your
sweat?
hair and your sweat?
Let's for the sake of it.
Wouldn't be your hair,
it's-
mate. You got me anything? Got anything?
Good on you, mate. Have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah, you didn't quite get it out either.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
No, well.
Have another go, mate. Bad luck.
Yeah, let's for the sake of argument just say it's your twins' hair / sweat.
It's not very pleasant to think about
No.
either way, is it? Maybe sweat. You could just
Sweat, you just
skull
smash it,
skull
yeah.
and then just
Yeah,
have a chaser of something else.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Although Ben's hair would be pretty thin, so it might go down pretty easy. Don't know.
Same as yours.
You're insulting yourselves. That's the funniest part to me.
Oh, that's funny.
Matt from Officer.
G'day, boys. Matt from Officer here. Hope you've been well. Looking forward to a good season ahead. Just in regards to the Kings' birthday clash later in the year, Blues Bombers doesn't get bigger than that. You boys must be excited for the chance to potentially, and I say potentially because it's probably not going to happen, for you to verse each other. What's the reason going to be this year for not playing? Have you made one up yet? Or all right, thanks, boys. Go Blues.
Oh, he's
Thank you,
preempting
mate.
it.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Well, Ben's historically gone down the bruised path. So maybe are you thinking of doing that again, or
What bruise?
I think you had a bruised knee, wasn't it?
You're telling the story.
It was a bruise something, wasn't it?
Yeah, what was it in the end?
Bruised foot, maybe.
Well, I had a stress fracture in my foot.
Yeah, that was the Bruce
But
foot.
it did start with a bruise, though. Remember?
Yeah.
It was unrelated, but yeah, anyway.
And then I think
I've completely forgotten the story. The bruise alerted you to a foot injury.
Yeah,
and it ended up
I had a
being-
bruise on the outside of my foot.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah.
So we scanned that, and then lo and behold, there was a stress fracture.
why were you getting a scan on a bruise?
Just to make sure it wasn't anything else.
It was unrelated, wasn't it?
What do you mean? Unrelated to the thing we didn't know was there. Yeah.
A bruise is a bruise, historically, but yeah. Matt,
Where are you
question-
going with this?
Back to your question, mate. I reckon this could be the year. So
This could be the year.
Yeah.
Round
I
13.
think it was waiting for a big 90,000 plus crowd.
That'll be huge. If Carlton are travelling well, as you would, as you tip to, and then if Essendon find themselves knocking on the door of that top 8 sort of picture, that could easily be an 80-90.
Yeah.
What did you get last year there?
I think it was 70s maybe, but
Yeah.
that was a Essendon home game. They still obviously get massive crowds, but might be a fraction more if it's a Carlton home game.
It's Essendon, unfortunately.
No,
No, it
it's
wouldn't be.
Carlton.
It would be Carlton.
Is it? Have I got last year's fixture?
It has to be Carlton.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Oh, God, could be
No
wrong.
pressure.
Are you sure it has to be Carlton? Everything it looks like it might be Essendon.
I'm pretty certain.
It was an Essendon home game last year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was.
Makes sense.
I think it might. Can you back me up here, Chad? No. It looks like Essendon's been listed first. 9th of June, round 13. Anyway,
Doesn't really.
it's just one game between the two, isn't it, this year?
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
We'll see how we go.
So there we go. Finally, we had a question that doesn't have any audio that came through, but it's from Sam Durden. He asked, Ben, why the number 32? That's actually legit.
Well, you can go and watch the Ben and Harry podcast.
You can watch us on YouTube.
You can. And we are on Instagram and TikTok at Ben and Harry. So
Yeah.
podcast. So
Good old
Nice.
birds. That's funny.
Nice. All right. Any final words before you get into another preseason game?
Not really.
I don't know how to wrap up.
Talked
with it.
enough. Yeah, that's probably about it, eh?
Nice.
go Dons.
Best of luck, boys.
Go boys. That's right.
Thank you, mate.
Have a good
Enjoy.
week, Rollo.
Likewise.
What are you doing, mate? You got anything planned?
Oh, I got a fair bit. I'm calling a game actually on Sunday for Triple M. If you find
Nice.
yourself in the car, you want to listen to
Unlucky.
St Kilda
Triple
North.
M. Oh, right.
Yeah,
There you
Triple
go.
M. Triple M Rocks Footy.
Is that your debut?
It'll be my first of the year. I've done about 8. I
Can you
reckon.
give us like a quick,
Yeah,
like
that's
as
fair.
if you're just doing a play? Can you just give us a
Um,
quick tease?
all right. This is so awkward.
That's all right.
It's
You'll be
all-
right,
That's
mate.
the whole point.
Yeah, okay. Out of the middle, Walsh finds Crip by hand, Cripps by hand, long kick inside 50. I called you
And that's
Captain
Will's
Crip.
last
That's
call
my
of the
last
year.
call.
First and
I
last
called
of the
it
year,
Crip.
mate.
Mackay. All right. See you, boys.
See
Go
you,
well.
mate.
See you guys.